Hey there, it is Tonekakko on the behalf of IP Guitars once again. And yeah, in upkeeping with tradition, let's have a look back at the, let's say, turbulent year that we've had, or turbulent year that I've had with this channel. I know that recently a lot of the videos and a lot of the type of content that I have been making and creating have been a lot of, well, me talking to the camera and talking about how things have been going with the channel and how they haven't been all that well. The previous video that I did, in the previous video, I had talked about how things have gone this year and asked for your help. And boy, did you deliver. Thank you so much for all the comments and all the support that you have been giving me. I have been meaning to make a follow-up to that, but alas, holiday season and everything else, it's been absolute mayhem and chaos toward the end of the year, as is usual. So here we are. This is the this is the video that I'm posting now. Yeah, so before we start taking a look at what's coming up ahead, I need to turn the volume off of my phone. So before we have a chance to look at everything that's coming up in the coming year, we need to take a look back at how this year has gone. The year kicked off with the 2-wood fretboard for the After Hours guitar. Now, this is a guitar that I've been working on for myself since 2016. The After Hours name comes from the fact that I was building it after hours while working at Crimson Guitars. So that's where the name comes from, and I've been slowly but steadily working on it ever since when I get a chance to. One day, I'll finish that guitar. Now, the next video was something that I had been asked about quite a lot, is how the 100% Pine guitar is doing 4 years later, like 4 years after creating it. And that was a look back on that, and it was a really very simple video, very interesting to kind of have a look at and realize that not much needed to change, just needed a truss rod adjustment, and that was it. Of course, didn't get into it and talked about what kind of future that guitar might have, but as one commenter pointed out, it's probably good to keep it as it is instead of going through all the trouble of trying to make it as good as I possibly can be, which might take away from what it originally was conceived as. So for the 100% Pine guitar will forever remain in that state that it currently is in. I changed up the working space quite a bit, rearranged it, and now it suits my needs way better than it did before, which then pumped up the drive to kind of start working on creating stuff for Tonefest. Now already this is going well into the year now. Don't recall when that video was put up. I could check that, but I can't remember it right now. But it must be said that it's very clear to any old viewer or returning subscriber or anything like that, that I haven't posted a lot of content this year. The main reason, I believe, for that fact is that I have been utterly and completely exhausted. During this year, my band, BloodBlind, we've released 4 new songs, all of which had music videos, and 3 of which are music videos that I came up with a concept, filmed or edited or anything and everything like that. So at the start of the year, we had scheduled up the first single for pretty much like the refreshed sound and everything. So this had to be perfect, and it was a very arduous journey, and I made a video for that, which was too elaborate for it for its own good. I spent so much time. There were so many moving parts, and filmed the entire thing, which consisted of filming, let's see, four different videos, extra content, creating 4 different videos inside of the video itself, creating an entire marketing campaign, fake marketing campaign, fake Instagram page, fake influencer accounts. And this was for a song called Nightmare Cult, which revolved around the toxicity of social media. Hence why I did that. And I spent a lot of sleepless hours during those times creating this music video. The second one that came out later on in the year, same thing. For that one, I fortunately got help from my good friend Al, Ionic Gecko, which you've seen on the channel before. He helped film it. He edited it, and I did all the special effects and stuff like that. But even that and everything, if you guys are musicians who put out your own music, you know how much work goes into creating a video and creating an entire marketing campaign for the songs you release and doing all the entire release and everything. So there was a lot of moving parts, and that took a lot out of me. And then there was a third video that we did later on in the year, which came out in August, and that was draining from the point of view of, well, yes, I did film and edit it. The actual matter of the song, Brick by Brick, was a very heavy subject matter and mentally drained me as well. So I didn't really have too much time to put into this YouTube channel, which is a shame because there was a lot of stuff that was happening, and I was trying to put as much attention as I could into it. So I pretty much all the energy that I usually spend for a year's worth of content, I pretty much used up for everything that was leading up to Tonefest, which was doing the Road to Tonefest series, which was a series of vlogs following me creating all the stuff that I needed to get done for Tonefest, combined with the whole release of the Ariadne guitar. So this was my first proper product release from IP Guitars, and I made sure to create a music video for that, essentially, along with Samuli from Ikina. He recorded the guitars with the Ariadne guitars and did the performance, but I did everything else when it came down to that video shoot, which meant also budgeting stuff for Tonefest. I wanted things to succeed, so I placed a lot of finances into getting materials, getting equipment to film the music video, renting gear, making sure that I was marketing things properly for Tonefest to come, and then actually doing Tonefest and everything else that revolved around that, which was an amazing experience. Tonefest was incredible. While yes, I didn't get any sales from that, that wasn't the point. It was just getting the brand out there, getting as many people playing the guitars as possible, and that succeeded and felt amazing. Which then led to me creating the 2 build videos of building the 2 multi-scale Ariadne guitars, and then creating the thin line Daedalus. 2 very different format, 2 different styles of videos that I did there just to kind of try things out. And then there was a little bit of a break, and I popped back in while I was on a work trip in Hammerfest up in the Arctic Circle, and I did a little vlog there just to keep everybody kind of posted on what's been going on. And that was the first time that I kind of really opened up about the struggles of what YouTube is is nowadays, and how much of my time and energy I had already spent by that time. And we were like a little over halfway through the year. I think this was August, so I was back at work already, but I was exhausted and had very little, I burned myself out a little bit with creating videos in general. I still wanted to make content, but I felt like I wanted to focus on just building guitars instead of having to worry about camera angles and filming everything that I do. So I didn't film quite as much, and this resulted in not really posting content because I wanted to focus on creating things instead of being stuck at my desk editing videos. If I could just shoot stuff, have somebody else edit the videos, and then show you guys what I'm up to, that would be amazing. But unfortunately, I'm not in the position to do that just yet, at least. We'll see where we get in the future. One of the biggest personal accomplishments for this year was that I got to fulfill a very long-standing wish of mine, which was to recreate and fix the errors of my past, which was refinishing two guitars that I kind of started everything out with. These were two guitars that I got, two guitars from my old school that 10, 12 years ago I decided that, or asked my music teacher if I would be able to fix them up. And if you haven't seen the video, it is a long one, it is a longer one, but it is something that I am super, super proud of. I've spent so much time making something like really good quality. I trimmed it down to as short of a video as I could while retaining all the content in it that I wanted. This is without a doubt one of the videos in the past years that I spent a lot of time really finessing and really making sure that it's exactly what I want it to be. And I was so happy finally putting it out there. And this was something that was a really big thing for me. And then it fell flat. Very little have seen it. Very little people have seen it. And right now I'm looking at it. It's at a little over 400 views. And it was posted 3 months ago. And that hit me hard. This was something that I had loved creating. The entire project itself, like actually working on the guitars themselves, getting the Finnish paint supplier Maston to kind of participate with sending in all the paints and lacquers and stuff like this, and really pulling through and really making sure that I have a good final product. Both the guitars, be able to donate those back to the school, fix them up, be really proud of them, and create a video that I'm proud of as well, and then not get anything for it, like no views. I don't care about getting the revenue from it or getting monetized stuff for it. It just ended up not working out. And that hit me pretty hard and didn't help with the motivation factor, to be very honest. The next thing is something that people have asked for a very long time. A very popular video of mine is where I taught you how to cut multi-scale frets by hand. And it wasn't filmed well, it was explained poorly, and there was a lot of misleading information in that video because I didn't know what I was doing back then. Now that I do, I wanted to revamp that video, and I essentially remade a new version of it. So, how to mark and cut multi-scale fretboards 2024 edition. And once again, spent a lot of time really trying to make sure that I iron out the details, make sure that it's a lot clearer than its predecessor, and that also nobody saw. Which, again, a lot of this is to do with what I talked about in the previous video, where if you take a break on YouTube, YouTube kind of sees as you stopped creating content and they stop pushing your content to other people. Hopefully we'll do better next year. We'll see. I have some plans for that, and I will get to that in just a second. And then there was a video that, for, you know, how videos have been doing this year, it did fairly well, which was the iCris inlay, which is something that I've been meaning to do for a very long time, been putting it off because it felt like a challenge, and it was, and I welcomed the challenge. It was a fun project to do on a guitar that is coming up, and yeah, it gained more views than a lot of other videos had in the same amount of time, but still very lackluster engagement. And then there was the previous video where I asked for your help in reviving the channel, and the comments have been great. A lot of really good comments and conversations and discussions in the comment section, which I thank you so much for that. It means the world to me. And yeah, and then it's been mayhem ever since. I've been stressing about the fact that Tonefest is coming up in February. So on the 8th and the 9th. I aim on having 4 guitars present, but all of them are. Now, I'm not quite sure at what point the camera cut out, but essentially what I was saying, that Tonefest is coming up in February, start of February 8th, February 9th, and I aim to have 4 guitars present, and they're still well underway by a country mile, so to speak. There's a lot to still do, but I am pretty sure that I can pull through. It just means that I need to really focus on getting that work done. And I had a little promotion going on toward the end of the year, which I didn't have time to make a video for. So I need to make one. Essentially, I was offering free shipping on all stock guitars, which is the Ariadne, the 10th anniversary guitar, and the thin line Daedalus, up until the end of the year. But nobody saw that post, except people who've been on Instagram and have seen the post there. I need to create a video for it. There's a coupon code and there's everything else. It will be a separate video from this, but just to let you know, currently free shipping on the website for all stock items. Now, moving onwards toward the new year, I do plan on getting those 4 instruments made. One of them is a collaboration with Philatone Instruments in England. He's created 3D parts, and I'm building a guitar around his design, combining 3D printing and more traditional guitar building techniques. So that's going to be something that's really interesting. I look forward to that video. A lot of you have given very great insight in the previous video as to ideas on what I could do, and I do plan on implementing a lot and playing around with what I can do to make this platform work for me, but also work for you. Creating content that you want to see while also feeding my interest in making the content, because there's no point in, if I don't feel it, there's no point in me making it, because that feeling's going to translate. If I'm not feeling it, you probably won't either, to be very honest. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for the last year. It's been rough, but we're almost done. Yeah, it's been a turbulent year, but thank you so much for sticking in there and showing your support and, well, watching the content and commenting. Those 2 things really do help the channel out a hell of a lot. Here's to a new year, 2025. Hopefully, well, I mean, it's not going to be any worse than this year, to be very honest. So, yeah. Let's see what happens. Can't make any promises, but yeah, it's going to be interesting, if nothing else. Thanks so much. Have a great new year. Stay safe. Don't blow yourselves up with fireworks. And I'll see you next time. Take care.